So I believe you have a story about Torin that you want to tell me before we get started.
So tonight I was putting him to bed, and he has 2 stuffed animals that he has been, had with him when he sleeps for, I don't even know. Susan is like the OG. It's this stuffed sloth that he has had basically since birth. And Susan goes everywhere with Torin. She's the one that, like, if we lost Susan, we'd be in trouble. Be a bad deal.
Mm-hmm.
But lately he's been a little less attached to Susan. So the 2 that he's been sleeping with have been Susan and Wolf. That is a wolf. We had a different name. He just calls it Wolf. So tonight I'm tucking him in, and he's like, wait, where are my stuffed animals? Where are Susan and Wolf? And I'm like, I don't know, man. So he goes and finds them and brings them back to bed. And we go through our whole little routine. And he's got Wolf. I hand him Susan. And he goes, actually, you can sleep with Susan tonight. He goes, I have Wolf. I only need one. And I was like, oh, you don't need Susan? He goes, no, you can sleep with Susan. I was like, okay, thank you. So I kind of like gave her a little hug. I was like, I'll keep her nice and safe and cozy. And he pauses for a minute and goes, actually, I'll take Susan. Takes Susan back. And I was like, oh, okay. You want Susan? He goes, yeah, Daddy can be your stuffed animal and you can be Daddy's stuffed animal. Okay, cool. So we don't need little stuffies.
I guess.
We have each other.
Welcome back to Adventures with Bam. I'm Brent Billings.
And I'm Maggie Billings.
And this episode has us recounting my 2 trips to Texas and Maple's first attempted excursion to visit family.
2 trips to Texas, you say?
Yeah, I realized we never talked about my trip in August, which I was going to a podcast conference in the DFW area. And that was a good time. Met a bunch of BML listeners, had a couple meet and greets. It was unbelievably hot outside, but the hotel was the size of a city, so I didn't really need to venture out that much.
Right.
Stayed at the Gaylord Texan. That's where the conference was. And this place was so huge. So Texas.
Yeah, I was going to say, leave it to Texas.
I've been at other conferences where it's like the conference, the hotel is the conference. Like it just takes over the place, you know. And the Gaylord, it wasn't even the only conference happening in this hotel. And I think if none of us had been there, they might have barely noticed.
So crazy.
Yeah, it was like this huge atrium, like this covered. I mean, I guess you gotta climate control when it's that hot. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's difficult to comprehend the scale of this of this facility. Just like, I mean, a normal sized hotel, but like 20 stories tall. And there's 3 of them, and they're all inside of another building.
We don't have anything like that in Idaho.
No, not really. Not so much. But yeah, I don't know what else I have to say about it, but just want to put it out there for the record that I went there.
You did that.
And I knew that Marty was going to be back in November. I did not expect to be a part of that trip, but ultimately he asked me if I would go to that because our vice president, Jeff Vanelon, is on sabbatical right now. Normally he'd be the one in that spot. It took me and our friend Zach Dean of the Bama trip 2016 and his wife, Melanie, actually. It took all 3 of us to replace Jeff's presence.
Wow. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah. So that was the fundraiser. That was the beginning of the weekend, or that was the weekend that I was there. And then for the rest of the week, we had a Bama group that we met with on Monday night. We had a general meet and greet on Tuesday night. We had a speaking event that Marty was doing Thursday night, and then I flew home Friday, and a few other lunches and other things along the way.
Mm-hmm. You were gone for a little over a week?
Yeah, 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're like, oh, Maggie can take me up to the airport, drop me off. I'll stay at the hotel, and then she can go over to her parents' house and introduce Maple to her parents' dog Tag, and that'll be great. And that didn't happen.
It did not happen.
What happened? Why not?
Maple's digestion has been subpar.
Oh yeah, we thought she might have had worms. That was the problem.
I mean, it might be the problem. It might still be unclear. That remains to be seen. She's a vet appointment this week. But yeah, this has been going on for a while, and we have tried all the things, adding rice, adding pumpkin, cutting all treats, changing, like simplifying her food, dewormer, probiotics. Things were just not cleared up in time for the visit. And Taggart, my parents' dog, is 10. And apparently, if she has worms and that's coming out in her poop, they were like, there's no chance he's going to stay out of her poop. And if he gets worms, then apparently it's a much bigger deal with older dogs.
Yeah.
I did not know this. I don't know anything about that. So we did not visit little Taggy. We dropped you off at the airport and then drove back down.
Such a bummer. I had high hopes.
Yeah, so we're flying blind. We're going to Thanksgiving. We're bringing her with us. So we don't know how long we're going to be there for. I think it will depend. We'll get there and we'll see how she does.
It's either that or Thanksgiving is canceled.
Well, I don't think it'll be canceled.
Maybe not.
But she does great in the car. Maybe we just make her sit in the car the whole time. Take her out for walks and then she can nap in the car. Great.
That's right.
But yeah.
So other Texas notes. I had a gout attack while I was there.
Is that what it's called? A gout attack?
Yeah, a flare up. I don't know.
I feel like attack sounds so much more dramatic, like a heart attack.
I think that's what they call it.
Weird.
I don't know. Anyway, my right foot again.
Your last one was
almost 2 years ago.
Crazy.
So it's doing pretty good. I don't really know exactly. Like the other two times I felt like I had a clear, like, oh, that was my issue. That was caused by. That's the blame. That's what I need to do differently. And this time I'm like, I don't know. I didn't think I was doing anything all that different from what I've been doing for the last 2 years. I mean, I haven't been drinking as much water maybe in the last couple months as I had been. So that could be a factor. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I think the things that your body needs and tolerates and doesn't accept and does accept can change.
Well, sure.
Certainly over the course of 2 years.
But whatever. That was the least interesting part of the trip. The most annoying part of the trip for sure, but the least interesting. What I should mention is that the house we stayed at had a cat. And I, am allergic to the cat, which I am aware of course. They were aware of. Everyone was on board.
Annabelle was probably the cat.
The cat probably. No, she didn't care. She didn't seem to dislike me necessarily, but she also wasn't super friendly with me, which was great.
I respect that. And a cat.
I was very disciplined with taking my allergy medicine, and I think it was mostly fine.
Great.
So Mike and Susan, they were hosting me and Marty. We kind of had the whole upstairs of their house, and I had like a Jack and Jill bedroom, bathroom setup thing. So I was using one room as like my office. I did some podcast editing while I was there and some other stuff.
Nice.
And then the other room was my bedroom. And then Marty had like the other, I never even went into his room. I don't know exactly what it was like, but he had this he was on the other side. There was like a little central area with a little mini fridge, and like they had a snack basket. There were snack baskets everywhere I went in Texas.
Wow.
Like the place we stayed at for the fundraiser weekend, there were several buildings, but the building I was in had a bunch of rooms that were sort of like hotel rooms, but like a little bit. It looked like it was converted from a house maybe. But there was like a central area where you walk in and they had, a bar there with, again, a mini fridge, an ice maker, all this stuff, and a snack basket that was restocked frequently. And then we get to Mike and Susan's house, and they also had a snack basket upstairs in this. So, I've been inspired. I made our own snack basket, and we had a couple people over last night, and I'm employing the snack basket.
Revolutionary.
Not that I haven't had snacks before, but just like the way they had it arranged and laid out and stuff, I was like, oh, this is nice. I feel appreciated.
Great.
But Mike and Susan lead a BEMA group that actually just ended shortly ago. So this was kind of like a reunion gathering, meet Brent and Marty, blah, blah, blah. Although I'd met most of his group, or a good chunk of his group back in August when I was there earlier. But we did like a normal group, and Mike started the group by showing this painting by an Italian painter named Tintoretto.
Jacopo Tintoretto.
Yeah, it's a Tintoretto is like a nickname or something. I don't know.
What?
It's not his. Yeah, it's not his real name.
What?
Apparently, a lot of the Italian painters like went by some sort of pseudonym,
Pen
nickname,
name,
something or other.
Paintbrush name.
Well, I don't think they were necessarily like only known by that and not their real. I don't know. I don't quite understand it. But anyway,
someday I'll be known as the violinist named Brick.
Yeah. So Tintoretto, there was a church in Venice where he painted a Last Supper scene, and it was hanging on, like up by the altar. The Last Supper scene was on the left side as you're looking at the altar. And so they had him paint a Jesus washes the disciples' feet scene for the right side of the altar. And so because it was intended to be viewed at this like extreme angle, it is a weird painting. It does not follow like the normal painting rules that you would expect. So I did too much research into this, so I kind of ruined Mike's whole point. But he shows this painting to everyone. And he's like, hey, look at this. What do you think? What stands out to you? Blah, blah, blah. So we're like talking about this. And then we leave it alone. And then we go through the rest of the group. And then we come back and talk about it at the end. But it was a really cool painting. And it hangs at the Prado Museum in Madrid, which I have maybe heard of, but it is apparently like the Louvre of Spain.
Wow.
Essentially. And then, so that was Monday night. Then Thursday night, we're going down to Southern Methodist University. Right on the corner of the campus is Highland Park United Methodist Church. That's where Marty's speaking on Thursday night. And I am trying to find postcards, as I do. And postcards are sometimes difficult to find. So I realize, like I'm scanning around the map, I realize that kitty corner from the church is the Meadows Museum. And I was like, a museum might have postcards. So I figured I'm going to go there. But I'm reading the description of this museum, and it is nicknamed Prado on the Prairie. And it is like the largest collection of Spanish art in the Americas or something, or in the US. I don't know. But I was like, what? Like 3 days later, like this museum that I've maybe never heard of before. And then it comes up reference in this gigantic museum, like a couple 100 feet away from where I'm about to be that night.
Crazy.
So that was fun. I kind of popped my head in there, and I didn't have enough time to go through the museum. Even if I'd only had like an hour, it was only $12 to enter. And it was a huge building. Like I could have probably spent half a day in there easily. But just the hallway walking down from the entrance to the gift shop, which I don't think is really a path that is normally taken, because normally you would go like through the museum and then end at the gift shop. And I just went straight there. So I don't even know how often the art that is in that hallway is normally seen. But just that hallway was cool. They had probably a dozen, I don't even know if they were paintings. I think some of them were paintings. Some of them were like maybe pencil drawings or something. There were a few different things. And then a couple of other artworks like next to the doorway to the gift shop. And yeah, I was just, there's so much I don't know about museums and art and everything, but
look at you. You're learning more all the time.
Yeah, kind of a fun little accidental discovery.
That's great.
I also feel like Methodist churches are just so good at artwork. Like the Methodist church in Moscow is, I think, definitely the most beautiful church in town, or at least among the top couple.
Sure.
Would you agree?
Which one is Methodist? That's the one.
The clock tower.
Okay. I can't. There's two clock towers within spitting distance of our backyard. So sometimes I forget which one is which. Yeah.
Well, the Presbyterian church is not a clock tower. It's only a bell tower.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. Yeah, it's certainly beautiful. I don't know if I've ever been inside the Methodist church. I've simply walked by. It's
nice on the outside.
I would say it is the nicest old architectural thing in Moscow.
It is the logo for the city of Moscow.
Yeah.
Logo has the clock tower from the Methodist church for there, like that represents our city. So
great.
Not a bad way to be represented. And I feel like it was the same for, there's so much I don't know about this. One other thing I got to mention though, McKinney, Texas. Mike drove me around a little bit because I was telling him what kind of houses. He was like, well, if you like that kind of house, then you're going to want to move to McKinney. So it remains to be seen if we will move to Texas. Pretty sure not, but
not on my list.
If we did, McKinney is absolutely the place we would want to be.
Is there a body of water in McKinney? A swimmable body of water, because that's if I'm moving across the country, that's a non-negotiable.
I mean, it's not in McKinney, but there is Lavon Lake, pretty close by. I don't know if that counts.
Well, define close by.
10 minutes.
Okay. That's an acceptable distance.
There's like a, let's see. There's the Town Lake Recreation Area. And there's Wilson Creek, Town Lake Park. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's swimmable.
Okay.
But they have the kind of houses that we like, and it was cool. They also had apparently a citywide dedication to inflatable turkeys, yard turkeys for Thanksgiving. Because they were everywhere. I saw dozens of them.
That's crazy.
Just driving around the few streets of McKinney. So, anyway, that was Texas.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Marty did announce that it was my birthday from stage in front of 350 people. So,
I'm glad.
That. Oh my gosh, one other thing. I got to hold a Texas Rangers World Series ring. Super cool. Okay, I got to be done talking about this. This episode is way too long.